I just came to meet from the hotel with the Prime Minister of Georgia, which is here. I had the opportunity of talking to him personally. I had been with him on the phone and also with the President in several occasions in this period of time, as you can imagine. But today, as you know, is an important meeting of the European Union. It's a European Council. The Prime Ministers and they are going to be here. The President are going to be here. We are going to continue this meeting with meetings during the weekend of Ministers of Foreign Affairs, as you know, the Gimnich, and many of the topics that will be discussed today will continue. So don't take this as a process. Now, today, I think three things are going to be discussed fundamentally, to my mind. The relation with Georgia, how to tackle the situation vis-à-vis Russia, and if anything on the regional aspect can be done. On the relation with Georgia, I think three things are important. The political support, the economic support, as you know, we are trying to do the utmost, and then the presence on the ground. As you know, we have already, from the exploratory mission, already deployed in Georgia, about 40 people. We will like to have an EUDP mission soon deployed, and I hope very much by the next council, the 15th, we'll have all the decisions finalized and beginning to deploy. That is what I'm looking for, and that is what I'm seeking at this point in time. I may be going soon in the near future, both to Tbilisi and to Moscow, and see how we can move on. Now, as far as other things, I can tell you that it will not be a decision formally taken today as far as our relation with Russia, but in any case, the revaluation of the relation is something which is at the table. Okay, I stop here.
Okay. What are the solutions which could come out today? Do you think about sanctions and things like that?
I don't think any sanctions is not in the agenda today. What we may do is to mandate to reevaluate the relations, the evaluation of our relationship with Russia. As you know, we are at the beginning of a new process with the PCA. All these things have to be reevaluated in the time ahead. And as I said, will be also the Gimnich during the weekend, in which all these things were already on the table, and we'll look at them.
Mr. Solana, is there any deadline to be set by the EU for Russia to fulfill the 6-point of the agreement? Any time frame for that?
Well, the deadline is our back. Therefore, the sooner the better. And all the effort will be done in that direction.
Mr. Solana.
Yeah.
There seems to be an unquestioning support of Georgia when there's actually a lot of questions about Georgia's behaviour. What's your position on that?
I think that the situation today, whatever the analysis can be done about the beginning, it is a situation which is clear. Georgia is a country in which its territorial integrity has been broken. This has a tremendous damaging on the ground, people, property, etc. And I think it's our obligation to help. We have done a very clear statement already on the recognition. We are against, and we want to help the people in Georgia, in the country of Georgia, to recuperate the damage that has been impressed on them.
Solana, the ESDP mission, what it will be like? Will it be a peacekeeping mission, observer, and when will it be deployed?
We have at the beginning will be a mission of observing mission, verification mission, in order to see how the plans which are already approved and signed by the parties are implemented. That will be very important. Yeah, you know, the OEC is already there. They are going to increase the numbers, I think, by 20. We are already 40 on the ground today. And the OEC had a mission that was to verify the ceasefire of 1992. That ceasefire, the circumstances of today have changed. Now they have to see how the OEC defines their own mission. But in any case, we will support also the mission of the OEC with people.
And how big the EU mission could be? How many people?
Well, I don't want to give now figures, but it will be a mission on the hundreds, not a huge one. It is not a huge country, and it can be handled with that.
Mr. Solana, just to follow up on that, I mean, this observing mission, where could it go? I mean, it can only go to Georgia proper, except in South Ossetia.
That will be a phase approach. At the beginning, they will go to Georgia proper, as you call it. It's a lot to be done there. Remember that still there are troops from Russia in there, and therefore it would be nice and good to observe that and to verify that the agreements, the 6-point agreement, is complied by also in that part, as you have called. And also the borders. I think it's very important to give helping on the control of the borders and see how it's behaving.
But there's no agreement by the Russians to that ESDP mission.
Well, there's no agreement from the Russians. It probably will not be needed. It will be done by the demand of the Tbilisi government.
But even the border mission, I mean, the border aspect of that mission can be done without the Russians?
As I said, this is a phase approach. And therefore, as we enter the different phases, it will require probably other agreements.
And one more question on the partnership negotiations that have just started. Do you see them either today or at the Gimnich being delayed or suspended, at least for the meeting that's coming up in mid-September?
Well, I don't know, and I think which is important is in the month of November. As you know, this is a summit, European Union and Russia. I think whatever happens from here to there, it will be very important. And what happens there will depend very much on how the situation evolves from here to there. That's as far as I can go that. Right, in November. Okay? Thank you very much.
How will you send a strong signal to Russia if nothing is decided today and the mid-September summit may still go ahead?
Well, we don't want to not to talk to Russia. Russia is an important player, no doubt about that. What we want to do is to see how things evolve and evaluate our behavior also in view of how things evolve. And as you know, and I mentioned before, the behavior about the 6 plans is fundamental. And as far as the recognition, you know our position.
What do you think? Do you think they're particularly aquí porque han tenido que ser la reunión en el hotel?
Yo creo que es por razones protocolarias también de todas las partes. No queremos tener una reunión de un Consejo Europeo que dé la impresión de que es un Consejo Europeo para recibir a un primer ministro, cuando es un Consejo Europeo mucho más amplio, con una agenda mucho más amplia. Todas las reuniones se harán fuera de la casa. Bueno.
¿Cree usted que del Consejo de hoy pueden salir sanciones?
No, yo creo que no.
La defensa de la integridad territorial de Georgia, ¿es una declaración o realmente es un objetivo en el que la Unión cree? ¿Es factible pensar que Rusia puede dar marcha atrás?
Bueno, es factible, muchas cosas son factibles. Yo creo que si hay buena voluntad por todo el mundo, hay muchas cosas que se pueden hacer y que se deben hacer. En cualquier caso, nuestra posición es esa, que este reconocimiento es un reconocimiento que nosotros no vamos a apoyar, en el contrario, y que vamos a condenar.
No es posible que se desata un retroceso.
En principio no hay ningún cambio en las fechas de las cumbres con Rusia. Lo que puede haber es una evaluación en función de los acontecimientos, de los que han pasado y los que van a pasar, que pueden afectar el contenido de algunos de los temas que se están discutiendo con ellos en el contexto de la renovación del acuerdo de partenariado.
We missed the beginning, sorry. So what's your expectation for today's meeting?
Well, I think it's an important meeting. It's a meeting of the Prime Minister of State of the European Union. That doesn't happen frequently, so it's an important signal that is sent to the concern and engagement of the European Union on the solution of this conflict. Now we're going to work on the 3 issues fundamentally, on how we can help Georgia, on the analysis of the situation vis-à-vis Russia, and whatever possibility will be done on regional matters. Now the cooperation with Russia will have basically 3 vectors. 1, political support, 2nd, economic help, and 3rdly, presence on the ground. And on these 3 things it will be detailed decisions today taken, and there will be also a process that will not end up today. As you know, we are going to continue working during the weekend and at the meeting, at the Gimnich meeting in Evian, and we will continue working on this. It will be a good meeting.
Okay, thank you very much.